Hey everybody, so obviously you probably remember this girl. She made the rounds about a little over 3 weeks ago now, when she had an absolute fit on this guy who's just working at the sandwich shop that he owns with his dad. And she orders this Philly cheesesteak, and when she finds out that it has mushrooms on it, she loses her mind on this guy, and she attacks him, and she even hits his camera at one point. But freakouts like this often don't happen in vacuums, and everybody became curious, right, as to what exactly happened here that could have made her so upset over such a seemingly trivial thing. And as it turns out, there is actually quite a bit more to the backstory here that really explains why this went so south so quickly when this woman walked into the restaurant. I actually did something that I've never done before on Public Freakouts Unleashed _ The Reckoning. I reached out to the person who recorded this video and initially posted it on Reddit and asked them several interview questions. And what do you know, as luck would have it, they responded with a whole bunch of information. So I have the inside, for the first time ever, the full inside scoop as told to me by the person who recorded this video. But first, let's review the full version of the footage that was posted on Reddit. It has, I think, over 5,000 upvotes right now, and it blew up on TikTok. TikTok, of course, took it down because TikTok takes everything down that's remotely interesting. Just another reason I don't love that platform. Anyway, I digress. Here you go.
Back! We can do this honest recording. Refund right now. We can do honest recording.
Was tripping over a Philly steak with mushrooms on it.
Recording me.
She's going this crazy over mushrooms.
This not
Somebody said no
ass,
mushrooms.
ugly ass,
no
receding
mushrooms.
hairline. What are you talking about? You look 50 and you probably 20, something, 30.
Hey, you gotta get your girl.
Now you recording me. Wow.
Yeah, I'm recording my safety. Exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing it for. Exactly what I'm doing it for.
What is the problem? You want is ready, right?
Because he trying to sit here. It's common knowledge. It's common knowledge. People have mushrooms on the thing. They call me a bitch. You call me a bitch. So you.
You come me heated. You think I'm just gonna sit there and take it? You gonna sit there and call me a bitch? I'm not giving her. You think I'm not gonna call you a bitch? I have self-respect for myself, all right? All right, cool. Don't come at me. Don't come at people yelling at them like that, calling them shit. Then I expect to be called a bitch, all right?
You call me a bitch.
Don't act like a bitch. People will call you a bitch. Simple as that. There's your Philly. Take your Philly and get out. Take your Philly and leave. Yeah.
I'll give the free one.
Embarrassing yourself out here. Look at you. You're embarrassing yourself.
Come on, baby.
I'll post it everywhere. I'll post it everywhere. Post it everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Great behavior. You're great. You're great. See you on social media, okay?
Sure will.
Yeah. Take care. Trashy behavior.
You'll notice that after all this, she herself knocked the new sandwich onto the ground and they left without the sandwiches. So obviously conducting yourself this way in public is in and of itself a cardinal sin, especially to viewers of this channel. But if this truly was just because a reaction simply to the fact that they had accidentally put mushrooms on the sandwich that she was picking up, that would be a whole new level of crazy. And, you know, sure enough, it turns out that actually there was a whole backdrop battle between this guy and his shop and this woman and kind of her girlfriend. So the first question that I asked when I reached out to, his name is, I'm sorry if I butcher this, man, Nabil, Nabil. So he and his father work together at this small business. It's a local place. You know, they're not like a chain or anything like that. So everything that happens to them like this, every refund that they have to give, every customer that destroys something, it makes a big impact. It's not like they can just send it up to corporate and, you know, have it reimbursed. So the first question that I asked Nabil was specifically what led up to this incident. And his reply was, "Hey Aiden, nice to meet you, man. I'm Nabil. The girl I recorded was a first-time customer of ours, so they had never encountered this woman before this whole incident went down. So what had happened was she had called over the phone and placed an order for pickup. And on the phone, she had asked me what goes on our Philly. And I had told her word for word, grilled onions, grilled mushrooms, and grilled peppers. And she had asked for no peppers and no onions on the phone. So she left out the mushroom part. When it came time for pickup, her partner arrived to take the order. That was the girl who was holding her back the entire time, and she was really friendly with me. We chatted about the restaurant since it was our first time serving them, and it was a very friendly exchange, and she goes on her way. So the girlfriend, perfectly nice, cordial customer. They had a great interaction. 10 minutes later, I get a phone call with the girl in the video saying she did not want any mushrooms on it and got into an argument about whether or not I told her there were mushrooms on it. As you'll recall earlier, he did actually mention that. Saying she didn't hear me because she was in class while placing the order. Could be a fair reason. I told her I've been working with my dad at this restaurant for over 9 years. I know what goes on our Philly steaks. But rather than getting into a he said, she said argument, I'll make you a new one if you bring it back. Her girlfriend comes back 20 minutes later, the nice, cordial one that was holding her back, during which we are in a lunch rush. I tell her girlfriend that, hey, since we're remaking an order for you and it was not our mistake in the first place, I'm going to lose money out of my paycheck to cover for her sandwich that I'm remaking. So I asked if she would be willing to split halfways with me on the sandwich. So to put this all together, at least the way that Nabil tells this, she's in class, she's a student, she's in class, she calls in this order, she asks him what's on this, he tells her these 3 things, she wants all 3 of them off but only says 2. She claims that the reason she didn't hear the mushrooms thing was because it's loud in her classroom. Her nice, cool girlfriend comes in trying to do her a solid and pick up the sandwich for her. She gets the sandwich. 10 minutes later, our main character, Nabil, gets a nasty phone call from this woman saying, I told you I didn't want mushrooms. So he offers to remake the sandwich for her. Her girlfriend, trying to do her a solid again, comes in to pick it up. They agree to split the cost, and while they're making the new sandwich that they have just agreed upon with the normal, nice, cool girlfriend to make and split, she comes in and starts flipping out like this, and that is where Nabil starts recording her antics. So when I asked him for maybe some extra context he could provide to this whole thing, he said, during our lunch specials, sandwiches are $9.99 with fries and a drink. Very, very reasonable. I live in California. That would be like $22. So I had only charged her $5 for an extra sandwich, fries, and a drink. Her girlfriend had agreed to pay for it, saying that we didn't provide her good customer service, and I apologized while explaining to her that it wasn't our fault since we were only making an order the way we were told to over the phone. She understood and left to go wait for the sandwich. So probably safe to assume that at this point, the calmer girlfriend went outside and told her less calm girlfriend what he had said about the customer service and it not necessarily being their fault and wanting to split it, which I'm assuming set her into this rage. As we're getting her sandwich ready, as you can see in the video, she storms into the restaurant and says she wants a full refund on the sandwich after already paying for it and having it made for them. She started throwing a fit because we couldn't give her a refund and started knocking down one of our Chinese waving cat ceramic statues that one of our store neighbors gifted to us a long time ago that is now broken. So, a irreplaceable, friendly gift that meant a lot to them. This girl just wrecked it. She also knocked down various tip jars we had up for donations that come by and request us to put little coin jars for various charity drives, as you can see in the video. So all those little jars were like the nonprofits that come in and say, hey, would you guys mind putting this on your counter? And then we come collect it for our charity. So she broke some of those too. That was what you hear crashing to the ground in the video. He says, We're a small business, so we try our best to help the community in any way we can, the same way they do for us. I think he's referring to the charity stuff there. It's just very sad when people like her don't feel any sense of responsibility for the way they treat others because of little mistakes. We aren't some giant fast food franchise like McDonald's that whips out burgers in minutes. All of our sandwiches take 6 to 10 minutes max, depending on what needs to be grilled, and made fresh to go hot with fries. It's not a fast food operation that carries loads of company-sourced meat and products. All of our ingredients and products are locally sourced and made available for people to buy, and it's just sad when some people think their time is worth more than waiting the extra few minutes for something that's freshly cooked over fast, processed garbage. Well said. I also asked our main character if he could maybe open up a little bit about what happened to this woman. Did he decide to press charges, or was he even able to find out who she was? His answer was actually pretty interesting. He said, "No, I never found out who she was, but I did find out from one of her friends that she has been known to act out like this. So she has a history of doing this all over the place. Probably, hopefully, that other girlfriend that she had doesn't stick around." Another 2 female customers came in saying they'd seen the video of her, and when they brought it up to her at school, she felt justified in her action. So she felt no remorse over this indiscretion. She looked back even after watching the internet's reaction and apparently thought that her breakdown was justified, her attack on this small business. On the matter of whether he tried to press charges, he said, "I didn't press charges either, unfortunately, because I have a toxic no-snitch mentality from growing up in Chicago. So I never got the cops involved, but yeah, we never got any restitutions for the damages she made." So we can officially stamp this Karen unpunished. Her only consequence so far has been some embarrassment on the internet from random people, hopefully a little bit at school at least. But it doesn't sound like, it sounds like she's sticking to her guns, right? She thinks that she was justified, or at least she's saying that publicly because she doesn't want to display weakness or something. She seems like she thinks of herself as very hard, and apologies or self-reflection of any kind, as we know, is for the weak. The last question that I want to touch on that I asked Nabil is if there were any misconceptions that people might have drawn from the video that he wanted to clear up himself. His response was very interesting. The first part touched on the ongoing debate over the sacrilegiousness of putting things like mushrooms and mayonnaise on a Philly steak sandwich. I have no interest in that. What I am interested in is the second part of his response that said, "I had another random lady named Erin stalk my profile on TikTok after I had posted it on there to make an edit of the full clip with automated subtitles." That was the one that I was talking about that got taken down. "This lady, who I assumed might be her mom, called me saying I should know better about customer service, saying I didn't treat her right, and when I disagreed with her on the fact that the girl in the video was being racist to me and destroying my stuff prior to recording. To which Erin said, 'This is the problem with your generation,' to which I said, 'Have a nice day,' and hung up the phone." So when he mentioned in this message, when I first read it, when he mentioned this Erin woman, who he suspected might have been this woman's mom, maybe, it reminded me that he had left a comment on one of the videos that really dived into this call that he experienced that he brought up in his response to me. What he said was, "To the random Karen," probably this person's mother, "that called me at my business a day after I posted this, harassing me on the phone about how I don't know proper customer service, saying this is the problem with our generation," so definitely the same person. "Truck you and your ignorant remarks. Racist, xenophobic people do not deserve customer service." And I'm uploading the full video for proof that this person was filming me first and being xenophobic towards me. I did not notice that she was filming him first. That's news to me. Interesting. So He says, no one should excuse this kind of behavior. I don't care about your customer service if you don't care about human decency or being a racist. People don't have the right to harass service industry workers and record themselves thinking they're in the right while filming themselves acting like an a-hole to a service industry worker. I guarantee she will never upload her side of the footage out of shame. That's true. It's now been almost a month, and that woman has not put any footage out on the internet whatsoever. So she must have quietly, at least to herself, conceded defeat on this one. He said, edit, thank you to the anonymous stranger for gifting me gold. Okay, we don't care about that. We also learned from another comment he left that he actually, his dad, keeps a no refund policy sign at the front for customers who pull this exact kind of thing. And the only reason that I mention that is to again make the case that this guy was going out of his way to be nice and do the extra step for customer service to take money out of his own and maybe his dad's pocket of this business to try to make sure that this customer was happy, and she still treated him like this because he wouldn't also go the extra step, apparently, of conceding also and self-flagellating and saying, oh, you're right, this was all my fault that you didn't hear what I said. So in the end, I find myself pretty roundly agreeing with this guy's behavior, and not with hers, obviously, but I'm pretty much always going to side with the worker in all these things, and I actually think in this case particularly he was clearly in the right. So, lady, if you're out there, I'd love to see your side of the footage if you think that it changes anything, or your side of the story even. Feel free to reach out to me if you feel so inclined. Also, happy belated birthday to Nabil. I guess it was his birthday right around the time that this happened. He mentioned that he didn't even really want to think about this right after it happened. He kind of just pushed it to the back of his mind for a bit so that he could enjoy himself on his special day. All right, well, that should do it for this one. I'll see you next time.